Hey guys, we're at Niemeyer's Trailer Sales in Albertville, Minnesota, and today we're going to be looking at the Nash 24M pull-behind camper. So we have Mitch here with us. He's going to be doing the walkthrough of the interior and exterior and show you all the features.
All right, yeah, so like Matt said, we have the 24M Nash. So right now we're on the passenger rear portion of the camper. So this camper is just going to have the manual stabilizer jack. So it does come with the crank to run those up and down. Otherwise, you can use a power drill with a socket or an adapter, which works really well. You are going to have two entry doors for the camper. This one is going to be the rear entry door that goes into your kitchen and living room area. You can see this camper does have the traditional fold-up style steps. I think the idea with these campers is that they want them to be able to go pretty much anywhere, more off-road. And so the newer flip-down style steps, where you have to adjust the legs, don't always work out as well when you're on, rough terrain. So that's why you just have the traditional steps here. You do have a nice big power awning with an LED light strip, so you can extend that awning with a switch inside. And then once it's all the way out, there is another switch for the LED light strip, so you can turn that on and have some nice light in your camping area. Moving forward, you do have Goodyear Endurance tires on all the Nash travel trailers, so a very good top of the line tire as far as RVs go, and they come standard on the Nash. You got a vent for your refrigerator here. You do have some water access here, so this is going to be your freshwater tank fill. So basically, open up this door, there's going to be a little cap here. You can unscrew the cap, put your hose in there, and that's where you will fill up your freshwater tank. And then the drain for that is going to be just right underneath the camper here. It's going to be a big 1.5 inch pipe with a knife valve on it. Open the valve and the water will drain out very quickly. You do have some 110 volt power here. So if you're plugged into 110 volt power, you do have power outside right here. You do have exterior speakers as well. That's what those two black puck looking things are, is exterior speakers. Here you've got your second entry door, so you can see this one is going to be into the front of the camper, which is going to be your bedroom area. So if you want a quick access or exit from the bedroom, you've got that right there. In the front of the camper here, we are going to have a nice big pass-through storage compartment. So this runs the entire width of the camper, a full 8 feet. So lots of room for all your gear and things in there. And then on the front wall of the camper here, we do have a battery disconnect switch. So whenever you're not using the camper, you can turn that switch to the off position so that your batteries don't drain. And then you do have some easy access for fuses, which are all labeled there. So nice and easy to get to. Coming around to the front of the camper, you have a light here. That just has a button on it. Nice and bright, so if you're hooking or unhooking at night, it gives you lots of visibility there. You do have a power tongue jack, so that just has a switch on it here to run the tongue up and down, as well as another light on the front of that. Two 30-pound propane tanks are going to come standard on this camper. So moving around to the driver's side here, you are going to have an exterior solar plug. So the Nashes are going to come standard with a 45-watt solar panel already mounted on the roof. You can add additional solar on the roof, and you can also add an additional solar panel right here just by plugging it in. So that's a nice feature there. This door is going to be the other side of our pass-through storage compartment in the front. So just another look at that there. In the slide out here, we're going to have a nice tall storage cabinet. So these shelves are removable, so you can pull one or both of them out and kind of arrange the shelves however you'd like, which is a nice touch. And then you've got some more storage here. This is going to be underneath your sofa inside, so it is actually a fairly deep storage compartment there. So now we're in the driver's side rear corner of the camper. Up here you are going to have a vent. This is going to be for the fan that's above your stove inside. You do have a furnace vent here as well. This is going to be the location of your shore power cord. So that does just have a door that you open up. The cord is hardwired into the camper. So you just pull the cord right out of the camper and plug it in. And then when you're done, you just fish it back up and inside the camper, which is pretty slick. This is going to be a 30 amp cord, and it's going to be about 25 feet long. Right below that, we're going to have our city water connection. So if you're camping somewhere where you have access to city water, you can just hook that up right there and use water that way. Here we're going to have our Suburban water heater. This is going to be the 10-gallon model, so a bigger size, which is nice. And this is going to operate off of propane gas or 110 volt electricity, depending on which you have access to. And that's going to be controlled off of switches inside the camper. Below the water heater, we're going to have another exterior light with a button on it, which is going to help you if you have to deal with this at night. This is going to be your sewer drain location. So your black and your gray water waste is going to drain out right here towards the back of the camper. The valves for those are just going to be tucked up underneath the skirting of the camper, nice and out of the way. So that's all going to be drained right there. You do have cable and satellite connections here, so the camper is pre-wired for those. It does have a TV inside, so if you're camping somewhere where you have access to a cable box or satellite dish, you can hook those up right there. And then to the right of those, we're going to have our black tank flush fitting. So if you are draining your black water tank and you have access to a freshwater hose, you can screw that on right there. And that will basically spray water in the black tank and help clean it out, help keep your sensors reading properly, and things like that. Lastly, in the corner here, we're going to have our generator compartment. So this camper does not have the optional generator, but it does come generator prepped. So the generator that would go in here is going to be the Onan Cummins 2.5K inverter generator. It is going to be a propane generator. So that is an option from the factory. You can order it with that. Otherwise, you can install it at any point after you purchase the camper. So you don't see it, but tucked in behind these walls, they've already got propane lines run. They've already got electrical wires run. So putting it in after the fact really isn't a big deal. So that's a nice feature. Moving around to the back of the camper, you've got the ladder to the roof. So it is a full walk-on roof. So you can get up there and check your seals, check your solar panels, different things like that. You do have sewer hose storage in the bumper. The bumper is hollow, the length of the width of the camper, so it can fit quite a bit of sewer hose in there. You do have a receiver hitch standard from the factory, so that's going to be rated for 250 pounds. So that's great for bike racks or a storage platform or things like that. You got the spare tire here, so the spare tire is going to be another Goodyear Endurance tire. And then you've got the nice Northwoods tire cover that comes with it. And then kind of tucked behind the spare tire is going to be your outside shower. So that is going to be a shower wand that pulls out, and then you've got hot and cold water there. This spare tire can be loosened and slid left or right, so you can kind of get it out of the way of that. Okay, so here we are inside the 24M Nash. So this is going to be the rear entry door. So immediately to your left as you come in, you're going to have kind of your main control panel for the camper. So a bunch of different things on here. Starting at the top, you're going to have your fresh water tank monitor, your black water tank monitor, and your gray water monitor, as well as a battery monitor. So basically, as you use water in the camper, you can just push and hold those buttons, and the LED lights here will come on depending on how full your tanks are. So right now it's reading empty, but it'll read 1/3, 2/3, or full. And then you can also check your battery level, so it'll show you low, fair, good, or charging. There is going to be a more accurate way to check your battery level, but that'll give you a rough idea. I'll show you that other way in just a minute here. Below those monitors, you're going to have your 2 switches for your water heater. So as I mentioned, the water heater can be operated off of propane gas or 110 volt electricity, and both of those switches are going to be right here. You've got the switch for your water pump. So if you're using water from the freshwater tank, you can flip that, and that's where you'll turn the water pump on and off. Porch light, that's going to be an outside light. So if you need a little extra light in your camp area, you can flip that on. And then an entry light switch, so that'll be kind of your first light switch as you come inside the camper. You just flip that on right there. Down here you're going to have two switches, so this one on the left is going to be for your slide out. So that's operated on a switch right here. And then you've got the switch for your power awning, so you can extend and retract. Lastly, you do have a switch for the generator, so we showed you outside that this camper is all generator prepped. If you do get that generator installed, you can start and stop it from right inside here, which is really nice. It'll give you a meter of how many hours the generator has run, and then you can start and stop it using that switch right there. And then this little switch on the right here, this is going to be for your awning light. So when the awning is all the way extended, you can turn on the light right there. This is just a nice little mirror, coat hook, key hook, you know, whatever you want to put there that Nash includes. So that's a nice little touch. Up on the ceiling here, you're going to have your solar charge controller. So as I mentioned, the camper does come with 45 watts of solar, but there is plenty of room for much more than that. And what this will do is it'll do a few things. It'll regulate the power going to your batteries. So if you do have a bunch of solar panels, you know, it'll regulate the power so that your batteries don't get overcharged or fried or anything. It will give you a constant readout of your battery voltage. So this is where I was saying where the panel here will just give you a rough idea of where your batteries are at. The solar charge controller will give you the exact battery voltage. It is compatible with all types of batteries, so whether you have lead acid or lithium, AGM, you can program it for the type of battery you have. So that's a nice feature. To the right, as you come inside the entry door, you're just going to have some nice pantry space. Some built-in shelves. These shelves are not adjustable like the ones outside, but still lots of storage space in there. Okay, in the rear of the camper is going to be the bathroom. So you've got your shower here. As far as RV showers go, it is a fairly good size. As well as your sink with a power outlet here, and then a light switch down below. You've also got your toilet and some nice big storage in the corner there for towels and things like that. Okay, so this is going to be on the driver's side of the camper, so you've got kind of your L-shaped kitchen area, nice double basin sink, lots of room for doing dishes and things like that. Plenty of drawers for storage. It does come standard with the microwave, so if you have 110 volt power, you can use that. You have a fan and a light in the hood here as well. Right here we've got the Furrion range, so a 3-burner cooktop. Those are going to be sparked with this sparker right here. And then these 3 knobs are for the burners, so you just turn the burners to light and spark them, and then they'll ignite. So you can ignite all burners like that. You can also light the oven using that sparker as well. So the oven knob is right here. And it's a pretty standard RV oven that you can ignite using these knobs here. Then you do have an accent light switch here as well. Underneath the oven is going to be your furnace unit. So the furnace is ducted through the floor, but the unit itself is going to be underneath the oven right there. So still on the driver's side, this is going to be the slide out in the camper. So you can see this model has the jackknife sofa, so it's a nice seating area, and it also gives you some additional sleeping as well. It just flips down to make into an extra sleeping area there. Okay, one cool feature on the wall here, we're going to have a remote for our fantastic fan. So that does just come out of the wall there, and then in the rear kitchen area here, we're going to have that fantastic fan in the ceiling. So you just take the remote, point it at the fan, and the fan will turn on. You do have different settings on the remote, so you can control different things like fan speed. You can control whether the lid is up and down, and you can also control whether the air is blowing in or out, so you can actually select. So that's a great feature, and these fans are rain sensing as well. So if it does start raining, they'll close automatically and turn off. Okay, on the passenger side of the camper, so this is going to be kind of opposite to the kitchen and the slide out and everything, we're going to have our dinette. So this also folds into additional sleeping. You can see it's just kind of hooked into the wall there, so you would just unhook it, fold the leg up, and then there is an area to lay it down right here between the two seats. Then you can arrange the cushions so that it makes into a bed. You're also going to have your refrigerator here. So it is going to be a two-way Norcold refrigerator. So that will operate off of propane gas or 110 volt electricity. Up above your dinette, you're going to have your Jensen stereo. So, we showed you the outside speakers. We also have two speaker zones inside, basically the front and rear of the camper. And you can control all those speaker zones right here. This stereo is going to have a CD and DVD player. It's going to have AM, FM radio, Bluetooth for your phone, all that good stuff. Above that, we're going to have the switches for our heated holding tanks. So the holding tanks, all three of them are heated with 12 volt heat blankets. So you can just flip those on right there. It is a full-size heat pad. It does cover the entire bottom of the tank. And then those tanks are wrapped in fiberglass insulation as well. Some nice storage up above the dinette here. And then also by the dinette, we're going to have our TV. So this is going to be a Jensen TV. It does pull out and swivel, so just pull down on this latch here. And the TV will pull out and move all around depending on where you're sitting. If you look back behind, it is actually a 12 volt TV. It's just plugged into a regular 12 volt outlet. And you have some 110 volt outlets there as well. On the wall here, we're going to have our thermostat. So this will control the furnace and the air conditioner. The furnace, as I mentioned, is going to be ducted through the floor. And the air conditioner is going to be ducted through the ceiling here. Lastly, in the front of the camper here, we're going to have our bed area. So this is a queen size bed. We're going to have another one of those fantastic fans, again with a remote. This time the remote's going to be against the wall on the passenger side. You've got that second entry door for easy access into and out of the bedroom. Both sides of the bed are going to have USB outlets as well as 110 volt outlets. And they're going to have some nice wardrobe space for storing all of your clothes, things like that. Also some storage underneath the bed as well. That just lifts up and you've got quite a big bulk storage space there.